Oh, hello. Thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. I'm Lisa. This is most definitely live, and today I'm going to cook up some vegan food. That is code for plant-based. Specifically, I'm going to make some lion's mane crab cakes. Check this out. But before I get started, please type in the comments, say hi, let me know that you're here and that you can see me and that you can hear me, because I talk to myself enough as it is. There is so much going on in this recipe, lion's mane crab cakes, and there's so much that I'm so tempted to unpack. Hi, Becky. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Hi, Rob. You know they're tasty and you're getting them for dinner. So much that I wanted to unpack in this, but I want to keep this short and sweet and fun. And so I'm going to focus on the recipe. Oh, I thank you. Yes, I've got my mushroom earrings on for the lion's mane mushroom episode. Thank you, Rob. I'm going to keep it short and sweet and fun and sprinkle in a little bit of science, a little bit of nutrition, but mostly I just want to highlight these amazing mushrooms. Look at these. So you may not have access to lion's manes like this, but you might be surprised. Rob and I have actually found these in the forest before and foraged for them. These we bought at the farmer's market, an upscale supermarket, or even like a small Whole Foods natural. I meant not Whole Foods, the brand, but they might, like a small natural co-op type of grocery store might have them. I know ours does up the street. Marlene, it's so great to see you. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so these are often used, these lion's manes. First of all, here's a little teeny bit of nutrition and science. Really amazing for our health. I'll just leave it at that. Google health benefits of lion's manes and you will be blown away. The reason that they are often used for this crab cake recipe is, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll turn you down here, but they kind of have a consistency of crab. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make crab cakes with these beautiful health promoting lion's manes mushrooms as soon as I can get everything situated here. Oh, that's not too bad. Sorry, it might be a little bit crooked. Oh, for crying out loud. Marcia, you just got some lion's manes. Perfect. Oh my gosh, how exciting for us. Okay, so I usually just chop off these kind of woody stems. Oh, I'm so crooked, I'm so sorry. And set them aside. Actually, what I do is I throw them in a bag in the freezer so that I can make stock out of them. And then you can see, you can peel these apart with your fingers like this if you wanted to. I usually get a little bit impatient, so I get in here with my knife. But once I start doing that, check it out. Look at that. Doesn't that look like crab? Yeah. Stir-fried. You've stir-fried it too, Marcia. Did you cut it into chunks or did you shred it to stir-fry? Let me know. I've never done that. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I'm already learning more from you all than you are from me. So, anywho, you just kind of make this, oops, I forgot to turn my stove on, to the consistency of like chunks of crab. And it can be big, it can be shredded with your fingers. Now, because I wanted to show you, I've already started this, oh gosh darn it, I forgot to turn that on. I already started some in my skillet. So I shredded these babies up, and made it kind of like crab. And then I put just a teeny bit of olive oil and some chopped shallots, diced shallots. You could use onion if you prefer, and a little bit of red pepper just for color. I know red pepper is probably not traditional in crab cakes. Is it, Rob? Rob's from the Maryland area. But doesn't that look absolutely beautiful? Okay, so Marcia says she sliced her lion's mane thin and it tastes good. Oh no, I want all of your input. This is so fantastic. I can't wait to try thinly sliced stir-fried lion's mane mushrooms. That sounds so cool. Okay, so this is hot. I cooked some of this up ahead of time, but I'm gonna add this to, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna add that to it because that's gonna take too long to cook. And we've got so much to cover, so I wanna get to going. I think I can make this work. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna slide those over and I'll cook them later. And then I'm going to, I told you there was so much going on in this recipe. It's so exciting, but it's so fun. Okay, so lion's mane, a little bit of red bell pepper for color, and a little bit of shallot or onion. Perfect. Sauteed. Done. Now, crab cakes are usually made, what holds them together is normally eggs, mayonnaise, some other stuff. But again, we're pretty much vegan, plant-based in this house. I cheat a little bit. Rob's a lot stricter. I want to make a plant-based version of this, so that's what I'm going to do. Most recipes will call for some mayo. I simply have a vegan mayonnaise. Now, this is one of the things that I could have unpacked. Being vegan or plant-based is by no means necessarily mean that you're like 100% super healthy. So the only point I want to make about this is if you're buying a product like this, make sure you read your labels and you know what's in it. This has avocado oil, we're good so far, water, chickpea broth, good so far. That's that aquafaba. Do you ever say that when you cook it, when you drain a can of chickpeas? That's what they're calling it, chickpea broth. It's aquafaba. It's a great thing to use as a thickener. Okay, I got distracted. I told you, vinegar, sea salt flakes, natural flavors, not so crazy about that. That's all often code for chemicals. Mustard flour, lemon juice, concentrate. And then there we get into the gums, garlic powder, onion powder, something, and black pepper. Not bad. But what I really like about this, and this is why I want you to read your labels and then choose for yourself. This particular fake mayonnaise has 0 cholesterol and only 1 gram of saturated fat. So that's pretty good. I want to watch out for that. We don't want to eat a lot of saturated fat. Well, you can do whatever you want to, but you don't want to if you want to be healthy, if you want your heart to be healthy. We need less than 10% of our diet in saturated fat, so 10% of our daily calories. So you can do the math on that, less than 10%. It's saturated fat that clogs our arteries. It is also saturated fat, not sugar, that can cause you to be insulin resistant and have type 2 diabetes. It is what clogs up how... Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I told you there's too much to unpack. We can talk about that later. Reach out to me if you want to hear more about that later. Okay, then egg. Well, what do you do if you're plant-based and you don't want to put eggs in your crab cakes? Again, I bought a product. You can make this on your own. I'm no way affiliated with any of these brands, but there are some fake egg products that are pourable that you can buy. I know these fake products, there's a lot of controversy around them. Let me read you the ingredients on this. Water, mung bean protein. I'm okay with that. Expeller pressed canola oil. Well, at least it's expeller pressed. I would prefer not canola oil. And then again with the onion, the thickeners, the gums, natural flavors, turmeric, salt. So anyway, not fantastic, but not bad. Saturated fat, let me see, 0. 1 large egg has 1.6 grams of saturated fat. So again, you get to choose. We choose to be plant-based in this house for a lot of reasons, but you get to choose for yourself. Often the vegan substitutes are not necessarily any cleaner or any whole fooder, but they might have other things that you don't want. So again, you get to choose. You can also make your own version of this with mung beans. I've done it before. It's a process, but it's simple. All right. Oh, I knew I wouldn't be able to edit myself. So I've got fake mayo, a fake egg. I've got some brown mustard. You could use Dijon mustard. Read the labels on your mustard. Unless you're buying that Coleman stuff, it's almost always just going to be mustard seed, vinegar. What else? It's clean. Mustard's a great condiment, and we love it in this house. Some lemon juice. I know all that's in that is lemon. And then this is apparently quite a thing for crab cakes, Old Bay. And I was curious about the ingredients on the Old Bay seasoning, so I looked at the labels. Are you getting the hint? Just read your labels and then choose for yourself. Celery salt, spices, red pepper, black pepper, paprika. Rob, you're lucky. The Old Bay gets to stay. Rob likes a lot of Old Bay. Okay, somewhere here I have a bigger spoon. This is kind of silly that I'm doing this. So all I've done is just make my little sauce here that I'm going to stir my lion's mane crab into. Oh, you know what else I forgot? I wanted to show you. Often I put some thinly sliced green onions in this. I didn't have any of those, but I do have some ramps that we foraged for this past weekend. And don't worry, it's important to forage for ramps really sustainably. And we didn't dig the roots, so because we didn't have the right kind of tool. So it's okay to pick the leaves. I'm gonna use these like a green onion. Ramps, in case you're not familiar, are basically like a wild onion or a wild leek. These would probably be good sliced thin and stir-fried with Marsha's thinly sliced lion's manes. Okay, if I would have been really on the ball, I would have had those sliced thinly already, and it would have been a little bit prettier. Okay, oh, let's see. No, I'm going to start with this. So the other thing, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this in and see how we're doing since I didn't add all of the stuff. Actually, I'm going to put all of this in. The other thing that crab cakes are notorious for is having a lot of breading. Breadcrumbs. Hi, Ben. Breadcrumbs. Oh, you know what? This is going to be perfect. I might be really glad I didn't put all the rest of that in. Breadcrumbs to kind of thicken it and hold it all together. Well, I tell you what, I went up to the same little supermarket that I love that has really great, clean, whole food, organic products, and I went to buy some breadcrumbs. I was shocked at the ingredients on the label in the breadcrumbs. So again, just read your labels and you can choose. So you know what I did instead? I made my own. It's no big deal. We had some good bread, the kind of bread that you would eat. And I toasted it, and then you could whir it in, you know, a food processor or something. I just simply chopped it up finely with my knife and scrunched it all up. And this is just used to the breadcrumbs are just used to kind of thicken it. Oh, I think that looks really good. Now let's see here if I can show you. I have one of these silly electric stoves and it doesn't heat up as quickly as I would like it to. I think I got everything else. Oh, maybe a little bit of salt, just a teeny bit. You don't need too much because there's probably sodium in those other things. And definitely some freshly cracked black pepper. And the Old Bay has red pepper and paprika in it, so I don't necessarily need any of that. Maybe just a few more breadcrumbs. Again, this is a really good quality bread that we bought at the farmer's market, so I know exactly what's in that. That's another thing. Read your labels on your bread. Holy tamales. Bread is one of the most notorious products. If you buy it at the supermarket, it's really, really, really hard to find it without a bunch of junk. All right, so let me show you. Ideally, I would, actually, there's my ramps. Aren't they cool? We were hiking in the woods and we found this beautiful ramp forest. And again, we just picked some leaves because we didn't have the right kind of tool to forage for them sustainably. Anyway, bread, sugar, oils, inflammatory things that you don't want. You know, and you might be thinking, what difference does it make? It's just a teeny weeny little bit. Well, yeah, that's true. But our food supply is getting so poisoned and so tainted. Oh, it's just one of the things that I'm so tempted to unpack. And, you know, if you have oops, there we are. If you have an oat milk latte in the morning and your coffee shop uses that barista blend oat milk, you've got canola oil in that. If you're getting almond milk, it's likely already got sugar in it, and that's before you add the 4 pumps of vanilla, right? So again, this stuff just adds up, and I think we're wondering why we're not getting healthier. Oh, for crying out loud. It's partly to blame for all these processed food products that we buy. Okay, so you don't have to do this. Oh gosh, my oil is heating up, but it just makes them extra crispy if you toss them in a little bit of breadcrumbs. And now I'm going to tell you, this is a pretty decadent thing. In this household, normally I wouldn't be using mayo and eggs and breadcrumbs, but when I saw those beautiful lion's manes, I just had to make some crab cakes with them. But I'll tell you what, next time I'm going to try stir frying it. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I'm doing is popping them over here in my skillet, and I'm going to pan fry them till they're nice and crisp. Yummers. You could probably bake them if you wanted to cut back on the oil. Ah, look at that. I love that little chunk of ramp in there. All right. So that is that. That is all there is to it. Probably won't be able to show you a finished product yet. Oh, that looks nice. I wish you could smell them. They smell absolutely amazing. And I tell you what, this is what we're having for dinner. We are having lion's mane crab cakes. Gonna saute some greens. And I don't know what else we'll find in there to go with it, but we'll find something.
Okay, you can see this is a messy work in progress. Thank you all for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. I will see you next week.